basically, for as long as I can remember, I've kind of sort of not been all there in the head, if that makes sense. Not necessarily like learning difficulties or anything like that, just more emotionally not there a lot of the time. I don't think it's my fault, but it's just something that's always been in the back of my head constantly, especially in like the last 6 or 7 or even 8 years. And I got bullied a lot. I got bullied a lot at school. For the most part, I kind of like shrugged it off. But you know, it still had quite an adverse effect on me. But like a lot of it affected my emotions, kind of to a degree that it meant that my emotions were sort of, basically my emotions started to sort of take control of who I am, you know, as a flesh and blood human being. With that kind of side of it, it's sort of it's a 50-50 spectrum. It's sort of 50% my responsibility, 50% up his responsibility, until eventually one night I just kind of flipped, and I went on a walk. It was pretty late, and I went for a walk and sort of left something. It was like a goodbye of sorts, and I took a walk, and I tried to jump off of a bridge. Like, I got to the bridge and I was just sort of sat on the ledge thing, and I was like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna jump off it, you know. And you know, someone called someone because I got talked out of not jumping off it, which was sort of the first sign that I knew that I was sort of, that I knew that my emotions weren't there all of the time, that my emotions were taking control of me, but now I could put a finger on it. And that was sort of the first time the word depression kind of sort of came up in my life, and that was 4 years ago. And I was okay again for a while, and then fast forward 2 years, 2014, start of 2014, it got worse and worse and worse, and it was probably as bad as it ever was. And then I tried again, but this time it was sort of more serious. Like, I actually tried to go through with it, you know what I mean? And again, people, I wouldn't say came to my rescue, just stopped me. And ambulances were around, and police were around, and you know, I got dragged off to hospital. And I said to the dude, I was like, I don't want to go to hospital, I just want to sleep, man. And he was like, no, you can't stay here and sleep, because if you stay here and sleep, we'll have to section you. I was like, whoa, okay. So I spent all night in the hospital, in this little waiting room, in the accident and emergency, waiting to speak to a psychiatric doctor. That was the first time that I was kind of admitted to myself that I needed help. So I went to see my doctor. It's a really weird situation, because that was the first time people were talking to me about antidepressants. And you should, if you take this, you'll be infinitely happier. So, you know what? I took them for, I think it was about 6 or 7 months, and I didn't feel any happier. It was strange. All I kind of felt was pretty empty inside, and I suffered really badly from the side effects. So after 6 or 7 months, I stopped taking them. So I decided to try and sort of self-medicate, but not the self-medicate that people think, you know. My self-medicate was going to shows and sort of being around like-minded people that were, you know, I could hold down a conversation with and not feel like I was 15 again. But yeah, shows, people, being around that kind of positive mental vibe really helped for like a really long time. And then sort of in the new year, last year, I decided to take it up a step and quit booze for a while, quit drinking, see how far it would take me. And it took me really far, and I felt really, really good, and I felt really, really positive. But at the same time, you know, that depression, Winston Churchill called it the black dog, so I may as well call it that. Like, the black dog is always in, you know, the back of my mind. And then I suffered a tragedy, and then I kind of slipped back to where I was and just pretty much mugged everybody off and sort of went off the rails a little bit and blamed other people for my problems when I should have been blaming myself for my problems. And because I blamed other people for my problems, that just made it 10 times worse, and I shouldn't have done it. Really, it was silly of me, it was wrong of me. And lately, this year, has been just, it's been like one negative thing after another, and again, I'm like going off the rails and trying to do damage to myself and not taking people's offers of help. It's like I get embarrassed when people say they want to help. It's not their fault. It's not their fault at all. It's just, I don't want to be one of those people. I don't want to be a fucking, I don't want to be a charity case. You know what I mean? You know, it's my fault that I'm in the situation that I'm in now, in terms of my mental health, and it's, you know, it's my fault that I don't have a job at the moment, and it's my fault that, you know, I pushed people away when they offered to sort of help me, and it's, yeah. Now I've got to start the task of trying to live every day and be positive every day. At least attempt to be positive every day. It's really hard to be positive every day, but god damn it, I'm gonna fucking try. I've got to start taking action. I've got to seek the help that I need to get to just fucking bury this once and for all, and just, you know, get back to preaching PMA again. Get back to preaching positive mental attitude. I guess what I'm trying to sort of convey, or even say, is if you feel depressed or you have like there's no way out, just remember that people want to help you. I had to learn that the hard way, and now I've got to try and seek that help, but you can do it. Have a good one. Goodbye.